just all right. I bow to all the seekers of truth. For a mother, the greatest moment is that when she sees her children get all her qualities, all her wealth, and all her power. There's nothing more she wants. I'm so proud of Yogi that he has so steadily worked it out for so many great souls that have been seeking. As he says, that seeking can be very much misleading if you do not know what you are seeking. But you will be amazed that those people who are also misled have done all kinds of mistakes, have gone wrong, have taken to lives which can only be ended. They also today are to be saved. And they all can be saved. God's love is a bounty. It's so great that I myself surprised at its operation. The way it has forgiven. The forgiveness is so intense. The love so sweet and delicate. And the way it works out. The beautiful correction which you also do not feel how you are corrected. It's such a blessing of these modern times. It was never so easy before. And thus, I have to just say that you are very fortunate seekers. Formerly, the seekers had to go to Himalayas to cut themselves off from the whole world, live with very strict gurus who would first beat them nicely to see if they were healthy enough. And then they would starve them to see that they lose all their sense of taste. All sorts of tests were taken to make the guru satisfied. Otherwise he would throw them down. Today it is just the other way round. The such gurus in those days never used to please the disciple. Never. They never tried to see that the disciples are not upset. But today I see how sweetly this power is correcting. One has to understand that these are the days of our last judgment. This is the last judgment. We are not going to judge by anything else but our Kundalini which resides within us. It's said in all the scriptures. But people do not understand that at the time of judgment you will be resurrected also. You are to be resurrected. The one who has created you, the one who has worked so hard, has to be worried about his creation. If he does not worry, who is going to look after it? And that is what I find the anxiety of the divine, to save all the seekers who are the epitome of evolution. It's a special category of human beings. You could be anything, but a seeker is definitely a special category of people. As William Blake has said, men of God, meaning seeker, will become prophets, and they will have power to make others prophet. That's what it is. The time has come. The blossom time has come. And at this time, thousands of flowers have to become the fruit. Beautifully. Not with trouble, not with tears, not with joy, but complete uplifting and a joyous life thereafter. So you must know that you are a special category of people. You are the people who are going to lead the whole world ahead. Those who are lost in the mundane things, in the seeking of joy, in power, money, or other things, you shouldn't worry about them, or should not think that they are absolutely useless. They are going to follow you, but first you have to establish yourself. You have to become good Sahaja yogis, as we call it. Today, as you know, Sahaja Yoga should be called as Mahayoga. It is written that when Sahaja Yoga will be done on a mass basis, then it becomes Mahayoga. It is described so many times in Indian scriptures and by many saints, and they have been looking forward to this happening en masse. I just witness all the beauty, the bounty, the great technique, the divine technique, how it works in such a mass scale. As you know, thousands and thousands come to my program, and all of them get realization just like that. It is too fantastic to be believed. It is too true to be believed. But one must know that you are fantastic. You are great. There's something so great in you that you are not even aware of it. But once you become that, it works out in such a marvelous way that you are amazed at yourself how you can do it. Now today's special request from Yogi was how to sustain our realization, how to keep it going. So let us see what are our real enemies. We should know them, who are they, and if you start witnessing yourself, now it won't be a mental projection, but whatever you think or whatever you put your attention to, it will act. According to Indian calendar, or what we call the Panchangas, this is the Yuga which is called as Krita Yuga. So Kali Yuga is over with my birth, I think, and now the Krita Yuga has started. And Krita Yuga means where it will act. God's love will act. This power of Brahma will act. So this is a new dimension into which the all-pervading power of God has started acting. So when you think also of something, it acts. So let us see what are our problems and how we get affected and how we get dragged down. The first and foremost problem we have is the physical one, which comes to us sometimes hereditary, sometimes from our birth, and sometimes we develop ourselves. So we should know what is the physical problem we have, and we should face it. We all can cure our physical problems. But certain things people do not understand. Like you go to a big departmental store, a Sahaja Yogi especially, and he gets completely drained off. I have taken some of them with me to buy some presents. And they all ran out, Mother, we are going to sit outside. We just can't sit there. It's too much. And they sit on the steps just like small children waiting for me to come out. There is no one even to help me with things. So they said, Mother, why it happens to me like this if I travel? Why do I get drained off? Why physical energy sort of completely drains off? So the thing is that now as you have become the channel of God, the energy is sucked in by other people who are sitting around, or those who are in that place, or who are working there very hard. It's perfectly alright because you have chosen to be the channel. But if the channel is completely dragged, the sense that if everything gets exhausted, you also feel the drain for the time being. But at that time, it's a very simple technique, divine technique, which we should remember. That the source of our energy comes from the Spirit, which resides in our heart. At this time, if you say, I am the Spirit, I am not this physical being, I am the Spirit, why should I be drained out? I am the Spirit. You can put your hand, if you want, on your heart, or you can just put your hand round your heart like this, so that you start bringing your spirit into your attention, and the attention that is dragged outside becomes completely nourished. So one must know that Kundalini is the nourishing thing for it. As soon as you start bringing the spirit in your attention, the Kundalini rises. And when she rises, she gives strength to your physical being. As it is, you know, these chakras are made out of elements. First two chakras are made out of the Mother Earth. So the Mother Earth is a very important thing for us. For such people who feel very much dragged down in their physical energies, you must try to sit on the Mother Earth and request her to give you strength. She is the one who really now has acting the Kruta. It has started working. So far, we have been getting at her all the time. This is the only element, the Mother Earth, which does not act spontaneously in us. Only the gravity of her acts, and we are gravitated towards her. But otherwise, all other qualities, we have to go to her. Like we have to dig in, and we have to plant some things so that something grows, and then we have to go to it. I mean, you have to put some sort of an effort to get to her, to use her energy of nourishment. But she is the most nourishing thing. She is the one who is nourishment personified. So when you sit on her and request her, and if you are a realized soul, you will find an upsurge of energy coming. Not only that, she comes up to your head, and then she takes down all that is not wanted. So it's sort of a cleaning process comes up first of all, and then you are filled with energy of Mother Earth. Now these days you find a craze for jogging. It's a very common thing. Only we should run when it is necessary. It is unnatural to run like this mad. It's not necessary. If you run like this all the time, when the time to run will come, we'll never be able to run. Actually, when you run, what you do is you fight the frictional force of the Mother Earth. All the time you are hitting her with your feet, shoes and everything. In a good Indian family, the first prayer when you get up in the morning, and you have to put your foot on the Mother Earth, you have to say, Pada Sparsha Kshamasvami. Means, oh mother, please forgive me because I am touching you with my feet. First thing you have to say, you mother, forgive me because I am touching you with my feet. Now when I say this, I know some of you may start taking out your shoes and walking on the street. That's not the point. You must respect your feet first of all, and then the Mother Earth. That is very important. Without your feet being looked after, you cannot take the vibrations of the Mother Earth. But a respect for all the elements must be developed. It is not like the primitive respect people had. It is a respect that comes out of enlightenment, that you know that all these elements give us nourishment, especially the Mother Earth. Now I have seen also people trying to extract things from Mother Earth absolutely without any discretion, and you know what is the result today. The matter that is extracted is converted into things like plastics, this, that, all useless things. And for this, the poor Mother Earth has been tortured and dug in. Whatever is necessary, you must do. That she likes very much because she is there as a mother. But unnecessarily when we try to torture her, it's not being very fair to her. And that is what I feel sometimes. We must put attention to the consumption of matter that we use. For example, many people now have realized that plastic is not good for the skin, is not good for food. If you eat the food in plastic, it can give you trouble, and people are quite frightened about the plastic. Now this plastic reacts in us because it is anti-mother. It is anti-mother. And it acts in a very subtle way within us. It creates a barrier between the Mother Earth and ourselves. And this is a very big threat for all of us to understand that we should not try to use plastic very much in our everyday life. As far as possible, try to have few things. Like you can do with one glass for your drinking. But when we went first to London, my husband said, we'll have to have people who drink because they won't come to our house if you don't have things for them to drink. I said, I'm very novice, I don't understand, you do what you like. Poor man, he went to the shop about this, I'm telling 10 years back. Went to the shop to find out different tumblers that are to be used. And he first had to go through some training. And I was amazed. At that time he had to pay about £1,000 to get all kinds of glasses, tumblers. For one thing, one glass, another thing, another glass, for another thing, another glass. Why can't they have one glass? It's a headache, you know. These are the norms we have made, by which we have made our lives miserable. There is no need to have so many tumblers in the house. Supposing then you give a particular glass for a particular thing, then they say they are not sophisticated. This sophistication has led us to use so many things and variety to such an extent we are using. This is just a ego trip, I should say, that we want to have so many varieties. Even we try to have varieties in simple things like motor car handles. If you get into an American car, first find out how it opens. And into the bathroom, be careful. I came to San Francisco, I remember first time I went to a house which was a very posh house in Monterey. I didn't know what sort of a house it was. The gentleman was, I think he was a bachelor because he had divorced his wife or about to divorce his wife. And as soon as I stepped into the bath, suddenly I got completely drenched, you know, because I put my foot somewhere. So the attention is wasted first of all in creating variety. You can have variety in color scheme, in wood, in something that is natural. You can have variety to create beauty. But this kind of variety and the amount of time we waste in creating variety is absolutely unforgivable, because it leads your attention to madness. Now, French people, for example, I would say, you take them to some French cuisine, you will have a nice time with them. They'll take 1 hour discussing what they are going to have, very seriously, as if they are discussing about atomic war. See. And for 1 hour they'll be just discussing what they are going to have. I mean, I don't understand what is there to waste so much energy on such a thing like what you are going to eat. I mean, in India we are quite healthy people, and whatever is cooked in the house all of us eat. There's no problem of deciding. Now this is a trick played by the hoteliers or the restaurant people, that we have so many varieties. So they put you into that kind of an ego orientation where you start feeling, oh, I can decide what I want to have. And you go on worrying about these things. Then he has to make 10 types of foods. Some food is consumed, some is not consumed, and something is thrown out. Such a waste comes out of this madness is to choose. If you go and want to buy something, say a simple thing like a lamp, it's not easy. They'll say, now, what you want? I said, I want a simple lamp to read. Now, this has got the blue of the green of the yellow, and that has got this of the this of the this, and that has got that of that and that. Say, now, I want a simple lamp. Can you give me some lamp which I can use for my reading? Oh, no. You see, you have to decide. You get back, you don't know which one to buy, what to buy, because it is too much of choice. And this too much of choice, you should decide for all your life, once for all. Like, say, my blouses. Now, this blouse I decided when I was, I think, about 12 or 13 years of age, when I started wearing saris. The style is the same. My tailor knows what is my size is, he knows my blouse, how to make it. Finished, once for all this. No more headaches. So the blouse has to be the same. But we had some people who were very much westernized, and they would go on cutting the sleeves here, then putting the sleeves here, then bringing the sleeves here, then going up like that all the time, moving their sleeves up and down. And ultimately I found they always were lost in the race, because they didn't know what was the latest going on. All these fashions and all these things are created to make you mad. For a Sahaja, he should have his own fashion, once for all decided, this is my dress, I am going to wear this, finished. That way men are wiser than women in this respect. They just wear their 3-piece suit, finished. Whether it is hot and cold makes no difference. 3-piece suit they will be moving about and they will be having very nice time. But not now. Now they have become very active about it, and any number of fashions are created. I met a lady in Hong Kong. She was so thin that I thought she was suffering from tuberculosis. But still she was on diet. I said, why are you on diet? So she told me there's a particular type of a dress she likes which doesn't fit her because she's slightly fat. I said, are you for the dress or dress for you? Why should you make your body suffer for that dress which somebody has created? So the people are playing these games with you just to make money. Understand this point, and Sahajogis must understand it much better, that we are not going to be persuaded or to be controlled by anyone like that. We are above these things. Nobody can control us. There is no slavery anymore of anything. So we move further with this, the clothes and things like that, then the food. Now, Indians are the worst for this, I must say, because Indians are very particular as to what they want to eat. They are the worst husband, because you have to keep them pleased, you see. But with other people, you see, whatever you give them, they are that way much better, because their eyes are more developed but not their food habits. So we go on wasting our time on these things. And then you say, we have no time, mother, for meditation. How will you have time when you are wasting your time on such and such things? So try to make your demands as less as possible, but that doesn't mean by any chance that you become a sannyasi. A sannyasi is not allowed in Sahaja Yoga, you know very well. But not to be driven into this madness, what should I buy, this I should buy or that I should buy. Those things where your attention is completely diverted. Now I'll tell you what, the best thing you must know about matter is this, that you can express your love through the matter. Before coming here, before going to Los Angeles, I was busy shopping for presents to all the people who are there. I really evacuated most of it in Los Angeles. Then again I went for shopping to buy something for people. Now I have to go other places. That's all. I just enjoyed that. Because you can communicate better. Better than words, better than anything. You give a little thing, it remains with them. They see it, oh, mother has given us. It's such a big thing for them. They may have the greatest things of the world, the richest things, but their mother has given me this one, it's got these things, the vibrations are there. Now, we must know that you are Sahaja Yogis, you have got vibrations. You have a new awareness. You are in the fifth dimension. You are in the fifth dimension, not in the fourth, but in the fifth dimension. At this stage, when you are in the fifth dimension, you must understand that you can find out about every matter through your vibrations. So whatever you want to buy, you should see the vibrations. You will be attracted to a thing which will be most vibrating and would be the cheapest. Go to any shop. Because all the rest do not understand vibrations. So they go in for something that is not really full with the coefficients to give vibrations. So that would be the cheapest. The other day I went, wanted to buy something of silver. And I said, this is the best. And there were 3-4 Sahaja Yogis. They said, oh, beautiful, this is so delicate. But I said, we'll go buy this. And she said, that's the cheapest. So you get the cheapest thing, the best thing, and the vibrations, and what you want to have is available there. So we need not put our attention too much into this. One person, you see, decides that I am going to buy a particular thing. I must have that particular thing. Why? Why do you want to have only a particular thing? You may go to buy a shirt, you might end up with a tie. What's the harm? See, one should take for life in not such a way that you fix your attention with obstinacy on anything. If your attention is kept mobile, you go somewhere, all right, this is what is available, is sufficient. The attitude towards life of all the Sahaja Yogis should be that yes, now we have come. If you are late, it's all right. If you are not late, it's all right. You are there, you are not lost. As long as you are not lost, there is no need to be agitated. Just sit down with yourself, because yourself is the spirit. If you can develop that kind of an attitude, I tell you, you will be above many things that bother you. Regarding comfort now, we come to the part where we are trying to find out comfort out of this matter. Now be careful on that one. For Sahaja Yoga, the comfort crawls upon you. See, we have come out of matter, don't forget that. We have come out of matter and we have to become the spirit. This is the natural course that has to take place. But because we have come out of matter, it's very easy for us to go back to matter. Very easy. Anything that is material can always overpower us. For example, a tree is dead. From the dead we make another dead thing, say a chair. Now if there is a chair, we cannot sit on the ground. Chair becomes, you see, our dominating feature. Wherever we go, we carry a chair with us because we can't sit. If we get used to a very comfortable bed, then you cannot sleep on the ground. So these things, when they start crawling upon you, you must know that your spirit is being dominated by matter. I do not say that you all start sleeping on the ground. No, that's not the thing. Don't take to the other extreme. But say, for example, me. You can ask anyone. Some people came to see me in London. I have a very nice house, I should say. Very nice, and I have a very nice bathroom and a bedroom, absolutely very nice, no doubt, according to that. But to me, it does not matter. When I go to the villages, I sleep on anywhere. I go for a bath on a river, I can do, I have no problem. Nothing can dominate me because I am myself completely regal in my temperament. Nothing can dominate. If you are regal, what can lure you to anything? But that does not mean now you go and sleep on the stones. It does not mean that. When you become the spirit, automatically it will happen to you that you will not need any kind of a particular comfort, nor will you care for it. If you get it, well and good. If you don't get it, well and good. You are not bothered. You are not going to waste your time on that. Now formerly they used to take the saints into cells, put them there in the caves to make their lives absolutely uncomfortable, to train their bodies to be able to bear all kinds of heat and cold. But that is not necessary after realization. Once you are realized, there is no need at all to torture your body. Your body automatically takes to that. Today we haven't got another great disciple of mine who worked in Australia, but when he first came to me, I had a very bad time with him and he had a bad time with me. Because I told him, if you are coming with me, it is absolutely Spartan, worse than Sparta. So if you are coming with me, be prepared for anything. He said, I am prepared, mother, I don't mind. I said, all right, come on. He and his friend, both of them came. And next in the morning, both of them were furious. You see, they had packed up their things, put them on the rickshaws and they were going away. I said, what happened? I slept on the cement. I said, really? I'm sorry for that. But how it happened? There were only 2 mattresses and 3 persons. I had to sleep on the cement. The other said, I slept on the cement. And they were very angry. So they went to the market and bought two big mattresses, thick ones like that, carried them on their head, and all the Indians started laughing because it's not done in India to carry mattresses on the head, you see. And then they were even more furious. These stupid people don't understand anything. We are so uncomfortable this time. And they brought those 2 mattresses there. So I said, all right, now will you be carrying these mattresses with you? They said, yes. And they carried them along to Delhi. But somehow they lost them again. Now it was too much for them to believe that they have lost the mattresses on which they could sleep. I said, are you going to carry your mattresses in the kingdom of God? And that made them think. In the kingdom of God, the comfort comes from your spirit. If the spirit is comfortable, you are comfortable. If your spirit is not comfortable, you are not comfortable. And how the spirit gets uncomfortable, that we should try to see now by understanding what makes the spirit happy. Say the music comes from matter. If you see the thing was played, it is made of matter. But when you play it, the beauty, you see, of that resonance creates such a beautiful aura. In the same way, we must use our spirit to play upon the matter, to create beauty, and not to make ourselves ugly and slaves of the matter. The spirit has to work out in this way within every Sahaja. And once you know how to work it out, you become such a free person. You are not bothered. You are not bothered as to how you travel, as to what you do, where you are. You are in complete peace and harmony with yourself. Otherwise it's a headache. I tell you, it's a big headache. You have to insure, you have to do this, you have to do that. If matter means headache, better not have it. But if it means joy, then it's all right, because that is the quality of the spirit, to relate to you from matter to itself. Just see now. People used to say spirit is not matter. Yes, true. Spirit is not matter. But matter is the one that contains the spirit. Supposing you are souls, in the sense you are dead souls, I cannot give you realization at all. You have to be a living personality. You have to be in this matter, in this body. Only then realization can work out. We cannot give to the people who are dead realization. We cannot. So matter is in a way important, and the purity of matter that we have to achieve within ourselves, and that we can achieve through various methods of, first of all, the cleansing of our being properly. Even when we think about bad things and harming others and injuring others, we need not use weapons, but we use our tongue. Then we are hurting them with the matter, that is the tongue. This tongue is to be used for saying something that is soothing, nourishing, and also it can be used for cleansing, but you must reach that state of sweetness and that state of glory, from where if you speak about cleansing, people accept it slowly and the whole thing works out its own way. This is what is very important, because you know the West has become more grown outside like a tree. The more material development has come. You see that very clearly, though you are now fed up of it, but it has grown. It has grown so big and you cannot just run away from it. Like some people said that we dress up like this, like a primitive person, because we want to become primitive. But you cannot. Because your brain is modern, how can you be primitive? Just by changing dress or anything, you cannot become primitive. You cannot get the peace of a primitive man. So what you have to do is to make this modern brain absolutely adjusted to your spirit. And you will be amazed. After some time, when this torrential attack of your thought subsides, then you feel your peace within yourself. And that peace gives you the enjoyment of matter also in a very different way. Like, I would say, Mona Lisa's painting or the Sistine Chapel, if you have seen. Just go there and you look at it and you just don't think, because it makes you thoughtless. To Sahaja, it gives vibrations and you just watch it without thought. To watch something without thought is the gift of Sahaja Yogis. Because when you watch something, say I watched this piece, then I start thinking how much it must have cost. I hope it doesn't get spoiled if mother sits there or something goes wrong with it. You see, so these ideas start crawling into your head, and the whole joy of its creation, the love with which it is put and all that, is all finished. So at that time, if you can see the thing without thinking, it's a very big thing. We do not realize that computer that which has developed alongside with our evolution cannot produce a human mind, even which is not realized, because we just see it without thinking. If you are here, I am just seeing you. I need not think at all, I can see you. But when you are a realized soul, then you see a thing and you just don't think at all about it. And the joy of its creation starts pouring in. Now when you go further with it, as it said in the Bible, that whatever is created by Mother Earth should not be reproduced and should not be worshipped. So what does that mean? That the Mother Earth has created something. Now what has Mother Earth created? We do not know if Mother Earth has created anything which cannot be reproduced. But after realization, you will see that at different points you suddenly start getting vibrations. Like your Stonehenge, I would say. In England I discovered, so Stonehenge is one of them. This whole thing came out of the Mother Earth giving vibrations, but people did not know what it was, so they cut it and made some circles and things like that out of it. But actually the whole thing has come out of Mother Earth, which is giving vibrations. Now a realized soul, when he makes like a statue made, say, I have seen the Notre Dame, I would say the Notre Dame statue of Mother Mary gives tremendous vibrations. No doubt about it, it gives tremendous vibrations. But maybe the reproduction of that will not give. So after realization you start understanding that the form of the formless starts giving vibrations if it is done by a realized soul. if it is supported by real asana. To such an extent that supposing now I am here and I touch something, if it's a sensitive Sahaja, he can feel it, that mother has touched it, because there are vibrations left, permanently, eternal. I'll give you an example. I went to Kashmir once and we were going to a very lonely place. Suddenly I said, what's this place is? So the driver said, no, it's all wilderness. I said, no, there must be a temple or something. He said, it is all wilderness, there's nothing in. So I told my husband, no, I can feel tremendous vibration in this area. Let us follow the vibrations. So we went along the little smaller road, and there we saw some Muslims living there. So we asked them, is there any religious place here? He said, yes. This is called as Hazrat Iqbal. That is, one hair of Muhammad Sahib was kept in that mosque. And I caught it about 5-6 miles away from that place. One hair of Muhammad Sahib. One name of Lord Buddha. One that dress of Jesus Christ. These, how will you make up? Because of vibrations. With vibrations you notice the people. There are all controversies can be resolved about whether it belongs to Christ or not. Everything can be explained, whether it was the hair of Muhammad Sahib or not, on vibrations. If it has vibration, it is so many things this Mother Earth has done for us to emit vibrations for our well-being, to keep the atmosphere clean. She emits innocence. She is the one who emits innocence, and that innocence definitely looks after our well-being. It tries to guide us in proper ways. There's another example. I went to a place, very small place, Musalwadi, in Maharashtra, and they told me that they wanted to make a retaining wall for the water that was accumulated, and they called it as a big lake. So that lake was to be given we can call a bund, to be built there. And about 60-70 years back, they say, an English engineer tried to build it. But at a point, about say 30 feet or 40 feet area, he just could not do it. Whenever he tried to do that, the whole thing used to just fall. The daytime they would build, next morning they would see the whole thing has fallen out. He has written it down in his letter that I did not understand what it was. Then a saint came in and he said that this is a place, is a vibrating place, and you cannot build here. So the thing is built in a wrong way. If you go there, if you are a realized soul, you will find a cool breeze, tremendous coming out. Even if it is the hottest day, you find an air conditioner working. But only the Sahajogis can feel. That's the main point. Not the others. They cannot feel. So you can feel the air conditioner working there of this Mother Earth who is looking after us. She has done so many things for us, and in the Patanjali Yoga, her blessings are called as Ritambhara Pragya, which is a very important thing we have to understand. That when the spirit starts shining in our attention and the Mother knows about it, then she fills us with Ritambhara Pragya. Now this Ritambhara Pragya can be translated like this. Ritambhara, Ritu means the seasons. The Mother changes the seasons. And this Mother Earth, as she chooses her seasons and she changes the seasons, that means she fills this universe with beauty of the seasons. When the knowledge of that becomes pragya, gya is the knowledge, pra means enlightened, becomes enlightened, then you start seeing how beautifully she guides you, how beautifully she bathes you, and how beautifully she nourishes you. It's amazing how she. Once I went down to Kuala Lumpur, and I was alone, no other Sahajogi, and all the kinds of diseases, he walked into me there. They said we are to be cured. There were about 1,000 people in that garden, and I didn't know what to do. Then I just asked the Mother Earth, I said, now you better help me. And all of them, I asked them to sit down. They were mostly Indians, they all sat down on the ground. And most of them got cured with published it in the newspaper that it was amazing thing that happened. But the best was a little boy of 12 years who was brought by the parents because he had polio, he couldn't even walk. He was sitting there and they said, where has he gone? He's lost, where has he gone? He had just got up and walked up. This Mother Earth is such a big thing. We have no idea. And her consciousness that we have to now know is what is Kundalini. Kundalini represents the Mother Earth within us. The feminine love, the feminine qualities. Now we talk of feminists, of course that feminism is something absurd. To become man to the woman, woman to the man, it's all pendulum-like movement. And you know whatever moves in a pendulum is not progressive. You have to move in a spiral. I hope you understand about the peptodes. You see, if they become linear, then they get destroyed. All their identity is lost. But if they retain their spiral nature, then they progress. In the same way, we too have to go in our consciousness in a spiral way, jump higher than what we are. And that's only possible by the spring of Kundalini, which is nothing but the representation of Mother Earth within us. She is the Mother Earth. So now what do we have to become? We have done all this aggression and then competition and then all kinds of things. We have grown so big. Now we have to go to our roots. We have to get that force that will nourish us. That is the Kundalini, which is also Kumbha in Sanskrit language, meaning the Aquarius. That's why it is called the age of the Aquarius. Aquarius is the Kundalini. And this Aquarius is going to nourish us, soothe us, and take us to that place where besides God's place is the Spirit. She is the one who gives us this union yoga. So one has to understand that the pendulum movement is just mental projection. If you move into one direction, then you can move into another direction. It's all linear. If you see, all your enterprises are linear. That's why they move this side, your political thing, you move like that, it calls back. You don't understand what have you done wrong, you see. Then you go the other way down, it again calls back. You try to develop your science, it becomes atomic bombs there. Anything you try to develop, it becomes a devil. You can't understand why we were moving properly, why it becomes a devil, starts attacking us back, why it is destroying us. The reason is that movement is linear. You have to move spirally higher with your consciousness at the stage where you become a compassionate, loving, nourishing, soothing personality. This country had produced a very great man, Abraham Lincoln. I used to adore him from my childhood. And this man has brought such great qualities. In you, all of you, lies that trait of Abraham Lincoln. And when the Sahajogis will rise, there is a great realized soul. I am sure you will all be achieving that fulfillment, that nourishing quality, that soothing quality, and also that divine love, which is so pure, without any lust of greed. That's what you all are going to exhibit, and it is going to act. That's the part we should know after realization. Now it is going to act automatically. Whether you like it or not, it will act, and you will be amazed how things will work out. So just be on the lookout for all these beautiful experiences. May God bless you. Tomorrow again I'll tell you about other things, some other chakras. I hope I've been able to tell you how to sustain it by understanding that you have to develop qualities of soothing, of compassion, of love, of sweetness. And that you can develop by watching yourself. There was a guru who was a realized soul and a very, very evolved personality. And he lived in a cave up in the mountain. So I wanted to go and see him. So all the Sahaja said, Mother, you never like a guru. I said, no, when did I say that? I don't like gurus who are not gurus, but he's a great man and I must go and see. He's my son. He's only 108 years of age. So they said, Mother, how will you do it? I said, I'll do it. Don't you worry about me. I'm going to climb up. So I said, you see the vibrations. Before asking me questions, see the vibrations started coming. Now this gentleman, poor man, he didn't come to America, but still his hands and legs were broken only in India. And he was absolutely useless to do any good work because he thought he cannot even walk. But he has a tiger. on which he sort of moves about, and he lives in a cave. So when I went up, he also has a great power to control the elements. As far as the rain is concerned, he has a great control of rain. So when I went up, it started raining very heavily, and he got very angry. And he said, "What is this rain? Why is it like this?" When I went up, he wouldn't look at me. He was sitting on a stone seat. He was doing like this, and he wouldn't look at me. When I went up, I went and sat nicely in a place. He had made a nice seat for me, everything. I sat down, and then he came up to me. He said, "Why did you keep the rain like that? I cannot even give you a clear day when you are coming to see me. That's my mother after so many days." And all those things he said to me. I said, "See now, don't be angry with the rain." He said, "It must be my ego that you wanted to correct." I said, "No, not at all. But I know you have bought a sari for me, and you are a sannyasi, and I will not take a sari from a sannyasi son. So I must get drenched, otherwise how will I take a sari from you?" The whole, you see, the street completely changed. Whole thing, the tears started rolling in his eyes. He said, "Mother, how did you know I bought a sari?" I said, "I know that you have bought a sari for me." And so sweetly went and brought the sari. Just look at that. A little thing, you must learn the tricks of saying things that makes others happy. Giving small little things matter to make others happy. The greatest joy for your mother is to see you all so very happy with each other, enjoying each other. Only after realization you can enjoy others. This you must know. Before that you cannot enjoy each other. See, it is all mental projection. You may say, "He is my brother," or "He is my sister." Tomorrow you may murder. But after realization, you really enjoy that person. How? Because the vibrations are the fragrance of the personality. And when you feel, "Oh, what nice." Sometimes, a very great soul comes to my feet. And I have seen 10 people standing there. They are all taking vibrations from him, and they would not allow him to get up. Whenever poor fellow tries to get up, they say, "No, lie down there." Because they are taking the vibrations, because they are enjoying it so much. It's like that. So one must understand that you have such a dimension of love which acts, which actualizes, which soothes, which nourishes. I hope all of you will become great trees of love, abounding love, of complete purity and truth. Next year when I'll come, I'm sure I'm going to see that here. May God bless you. I would like to have questions from you, and I would like to answer. There is no need to be aggressive with me, because some people can be very aggressive. I've seen there's no need, because I have not come here to take away anything from you. Tomorrow I'll be speaking, I must tell you beforehand, about something he spoke to me in the play about the cosmic consciousness, universal consciousness. And he said that we should not use the word collective consciousness. Sometimes people might think us to be Jungians. We are everything. We are Jungians, we are Christians, we are Hindus, we are Muslims, we are everything, aren't we? Because we know all of them are one. So all truths are one. Jung was a realized soul, so whatever he said is the truth. We should not brand ourselves or anything. We are everything. So about universal consciousness, the word universal consciousness, I'll explain to you why at this stage we cannot use universal consciousness word. When you rise to that level, then I will use that also. Just now it is only collective consciousness.
Come again tomorrow.
Could you briefly speak to us on re-embodiment or reincarnation, because it isn't part of the Western teaching?
Could you speak about reincarnation briefly?
Reincarnation of human beings.
Yes.
What do you want me to speak?
Is there something particular you want to know about it, whether it happens or it doesn't happen?
It is absent in Christian doctrine.
No, it is not true, because you see, how do you say it is never said that there is no reincarnation in the Bible? How do you derive that point? It's never said in the Bible that there is no reincarnation. Christ himself has said, I will be coming. How is it possible without reincarnation? Whatever is not said in Bible, how can we assume it as being against Christ? It's not said, nowhere, that you are not reincarnated. Never. Like you see, if I put on this red mark, you see, they say it's not Christian. Where is it said in the Bible that you don't put on a red thing and you can put on the lips? Alright, so also I'll tell you one thing more. That Bible cannot contain Christ. He is such a great personality. He is abounds everything. You have to go to other scriptures to know what he is. Otherwise you'll never understand him. He was allowed only to live for 3 years. They limited his time so much. And whatever he could say, how many understood, God alone knows. But they did not even believe him. His own disciples did not believe him till he was resurrected. Now he is no more, so we take him as an authority. But what he was, how he came on this earth, for that you have to go to other scriptures, which were written 14,000 years back about him. Alright?
We'll take the next person, one question.
So do not bound to anything. Just keep yourself open. Alright? Thank you.
Mataji, what is your perception of the present world situation?
What is your perception of the present world situation?
It could be this way or that way. We can go to hell or we can go to heaven. Both things are very precarious. But as far as Sahajogis are concerned, we are all going to heaven, no doubt. We are all going entering into the kingdom of God. But I can't say about the rest of them. Now see, I'm coming here after 10 years. I came here 10 years back. They never liked me. If they had listened to me, they would not have been in this mess that they are. They would not listen to me, you see, and the only thing they tried to teach me, mother, you must ask for money and Rolls Royces. Even now you'll be surprised. There's a newspaper which said how many Rolls Royces she has. They said she has none. Then said we are not interested in her. Imagine. They don't understand God. They don't understand divinity. They don't understand. You see, they are supposed to be Christian nations. I don't understand what to know about Christ. How can they talk like this? And there were some in the other church I went, they brought the Bible to beat me. At least respect the church, respect the Bible, if not anything else. You see, so much bound, and they think they are great Christians. Christ has said, you'll be calling me Christ, Christ, I won't recognize. This is a fact. He's talked about the future. He's talked that he'll send you a comforter. He'll send you the Holy Ghost. He'll send you the Redeemer. And he'll send you the counselor. What about that? Nobody's bothered. They must show a bony structure of Christ hanging somewhere. He could not have been a bony structure, you must understand. That's just your sadism that you put him up like that. Only if you see the Sistine Chapel and opus, man, with such exuberance. He was the Christ who could carry the cross. Tell these people to carry the cross, any one of them. Can they? Just talking about Christ doesn't make you Christians. You must know. You are to be born again, and you are to be born by the living process of the living God. It's not just baptizing something. You all must realize. You see, in London you will be surprised that churches are now used as pubs. We must try to see. We should not hide our faces into something that is unreal. I myself took birth in a Christian family, as you know. And in India, most of my followers are Hindus. And they ask me, Mother, why did you take birth in a Christian family? Muslims and Hindus are medicine. That too, what you call Protestants. So I said they are the most sophisticated fanatics because they rationalize everything. This is the worst part of Christianity. And now they'll reach a bankruptcy. There's no rationality about Christ. How will you explain him? I can't understand. How do you explain Christ with rationality? You cannot. He's beyond rationality. He's beyond your mind. You cannot conceive him through your mind. Get out of it. You cannot understand him, what he was. How will you explain that he gave food to so many people? And the Holy Ghost, they don't want to talk. Holy Ghost is a mystery. They have a father and a son and no mother. Mother is missing. Have you seen such an absurd situation? Can a father produce a son? Let me see which father is it. It is absurd. Try to understand. I would like to tell all the people who think Christ is in their pocket, they are sadly mistaken. Please rise above it. Christ is there, no doubt. And he is the gate, no doubt. He stands at the Agachak. But try to understand. Give him his full value. Give him his full glory. Don't put him in some books and some sort of a small corner. He is too great to be contained like this into small things. And that's what one has to realize. Give up all this fanaticism. Try to see the reality. Otherwise you may be the last to enter into the kingdom of God. Take it from you. The one who came for you, the one who died for you, the one he did so much for you. You have to do one thing, is to crucify all your misidentifications. That's what you have to do. And come as human beings. Give up all those ideas. Please, save yourself.
Yes, I have something to say, but it's a question. And here in our country, I've worked a long time to throw away all the baloney, the misidentifications. Now I see people like, well, not like you, but Kirpal Singh, his disciple Thakkar, and they say different things, and I am open. It's very good to be here with you. It's wonderful, thank you. And he says to meditate at the third eye. Christ says in the Bible, this isn't an argument from me, because
I'll tell you one thing.
And you say here, which is wonderful.
The best way to judge a person, first of all, how do you judge a fake guru from a real? There are many, but one of them is they never take money from you. How much money is sent to this Kripasu? Have you any idea? Have you any idea? You have no idea. He has got a big, huge domain. You can't imagine. Now, secondly, you must see the people who go to these fake gurus. For example, this one, most of his disciples suffer from heart attack. Most of them. They die of heart. You go and see. I'm telling you, go and see. I'm not afraid because I have cured many of them of their heart troubles. Most of these disciples die of heart attacks. The reason is there is no spirit. Minimum of minimum, if you have got a right person, you cannot get diseases like heart attack, cancer and all that. Sir Yogi will never get a cancer, will never get a heart attack. And even if he gets it, supposing he knows how to cure it, if others do not interfere with it, he will be alright. At least minimum of minimum. If you are still getting sick and all that, know that you are not living with the truth as yet. When the truth shines within you, minimum of minimum is health should improve. And the lifestyle of such a person must be studied. If they want Rolls Royces and comfort and all those things, they are parasites because they are living on your money.
Thank you.
So it's correct that. And thirdly, the last of all, I will tell you one thing. You must know what you are going to get. It's all right. I may say I am this and that. Don't believe me also. What are you going to get out of it? And what you get is not that you start jumping on your seats or becoming funny people or strange recluses. But you become dynamic. Not only that, but you become the master of yourself. Like Yogi has become now a master. He's a master. So all of you have to become masters. Yeah. So you have to become the masters of yourself. Nobody can enslave you anymore. You have to be your own master. Yes, my child.
Yes, my last question is thank you for sharing, raising or protecting yourself by a circle around the heart. Can you also draw that on other parts of your body or helping others?
Could you also heal other parts of the body as you protect the heart and heal it?
Yes, every part. Every part you can heal. That's the minimum you can, is to heal yourself. But you can heal others. That's the minimum of minimums. The physical side is the minimum you can. It's true.
I have a two-part question. What do you think of Siddha Yoga and Bhaktivedanta and his successors?
No.
And what
This
do
is
you
another.
think of homosexuality?
Could you ask something more related to this?
You see, I don't want to talk about anyway. I have heard Muktanand ki baat kare.
Ask a question related to what
You see, related to this, don't bring in people, because you go and see what they are, what they are doing, what they have achieved. Now today we have here before you Yogi Mahajan. He came to me how many years back? Bata?
5 years.
5 years. In 5 years now he can talk on Sahaja Yoga, he can achieve it, he can actualize it, he can give you realization. So don't take the names of these people. I tell you this parapsychology business, I came to San Diego and they took directly me to that parapsychology institute. I am your mother, I am not going to tell you lies. I am not going to please you. And I told them, what are you doing this parapsychology nonsense? You will be in trouble, please don't do it, these are all the spirits. But they didn't like it. They said, the Russians are doing it. I said, Russians will be also affected by that. You must understand, these are spirits, don't do this parapsychology business. Today, I went only 2 days back to San Diego. The people for that institute came and told me, Mother, we wish we had listened to you. The lady who was running it, her husband got a stroke, she herself is a recluse now, she cannot face life. She is much younger to me in age. So these people, what they have done to you, you should say. Don't take their names. I don't want to tell you about them just now, but one day I'll tell you when you are at that level, alright?
What do you think of homosexuality?
What is it?
What do you think of homosexuality?
Will you beat me if I say something? First guarantee that. Then I'll tell you. It is not natural, my child. Homosexuality is not natural. But unnatural things we do in a natural way many a times. The reason is this. Homosexuality, when I came 10 years back, was not known to people much. It little bit here and there. The reason it became very, very dominant, because firstly, I personally think the women were very dominating, they were trying to outbeat men. Moreover, to marry an American woman means you are in for bankruptcy within 2 years. I met a lady in New York, very rich lady, came in a big catalog, this thing, that thing. And then she said, you'll meet my husband in San Diego. The poor fellow was tattered and torn, absolutely torn. She had got all this from her first husband, then from the second husband, then from the third husband. And these 3 husbands met me. They were all in a mess. And they had no money. So they thought this law is such, if you marry a woman, it's terrible. You have to share everything that you have. In Australia, not share, you have to give away everything that you have. This kind of a partiality started. Alright, that's one of the reasons. Secondly, they became very dominant. I must tell you that they lost their feminine power. A woman who is feminine power, she never dominates, because she dominates in any case. She is like Mother Earth, you see. She knows how to absorb. She knows how to absorb the problems. She knows how to solve the problems. Like supposing my husband has any problem, he'll first come home. He'll shout at me, scream at me, finish it off. And then he'll sit down, now tell me what to do. And I just smile, because I know he doesn't mean any harm to me. It's just the way he has to take it out on me. They lost that power of femininity. So the men thought it's better to have man's company, not to have a woman's company. Because you have seen the women like Mrs. Kennedy, now look at her. Is she a woman or a man? I don't know what to call her. I mean, imagine, and she made such a thing out of her life, something surprising and shocking. For us Indian women, we can't understand, because she was selling her underclothes and people from Australia ran all the way to buy her underclothes. We couldn't understand what's happening to these men and to the women. The men becoming women and women becoming men was a horrid stuff. So as it is, it was homosexuality, because they were not of different sexes left. So men took to homosexuality as a matter of convenience. Thirdly, when a person gets possessed by a woman, a man gets possessed by a woman, he starts behaving like a woman. In America, we had a boy like that. He used to behave like a woman, he used to dress up like a woman, walk about like a woman, and he was a homosexual, in the sense that outwardly he was living like a man. To look at, he was man, but he was a woman inside. When we removed his possession, he became normal. We have so many homosexuals who came to us when they got realization that's normal. They are married, they have children, and also women become women after realization. They become beautiful wives and very sweet things, and you'd like to marry them also.
I'm expecting 2 children, and I would like to know, when does their spirits enter their bodies? Are they within me? Am I communicating all the time? Are they observing? I talk to them up there. What's happening?
You're expecting 2 children
Yes, sir, she's pregnant.
Oh, I see. She is going to have 2 twin children, and she wants to know what happens to the spirit. Is it in her, or does it come later on?
To the spirit?
No, what happens to the spirit of the children that she has to give birth to? She's pregnant.
They are just like normal children. Only thing is that when there are twins, see, they are born of 2 different natures. One child will be more right-sided, another will be left-sided. It happens like that. It's a nature's freak, as you can call it. But there's nothing wrong with them. They are like any other normal children. There's nothing abnormal about them. You should be lucky to have 2 children like that. It's the most soothing thing and relaxing to have children around.
So you think, when does the spirit enter the body of the child in the womb?
It is, you see, the thing is that, as I told you today, the whole thing is that it's a very long process and it will take time.
All right, we'll take it another time.
Another time, I'll tell you. It's a long process to explain the zygote and all that, all right? I'll explain to you later. It is about 2 months' time that you start feeling the pulsation. That's the point. The pulsation, when you start feeling in the heart, that's the time the spirit really enters. But it's not enters, I should say, but I'll tell you later on. All right? Yeah, I'll tell you.
Yes.
My question is related to Kundalini. Is it necessary to have the balance between Ida and Pingala?
Is it necessary to have the balance between the Ida and the Pingala, the left side channel and the right side channel?
It is necessary, but it works out. Kundalini is such a mother. She works it out for you. You see, it's like left and right. This is the thing. Left and right is the Ida and Pingala, and the central part is the, what you call, the Sushumna Nadi. Now what happens that if you go too much on the right or the left, this breaks. And the connection with the whole is also broken. This is how you become vulnerable to all these diseases, you see, which can be triggered later on by something else. But this is very important, that you should try to make the centers absolutely properly opened out. First of all, they should be like this, and then they should open together like that. So actually when you move on the sides, there's imbalance. But for that, you don't worry. We'll tell you how to do it. It's very simple.
One last question.
I'm surprised when you said that jogging was not a good activity. There would be no energy left to run when you needed to. Where does a bicycle fit into that?
What you like?
It says he was surprised about jogging, that you'll have no energy left when there's time to run. Where does bicycling fit into this?
That's even worse. Jogging, I'll tell you what, in Sahaja Yoga terminology we should understand. When we jog, what do? Our attention is on our physical side of life. We are not only physical being. We are physical being, we are mental being, emotional being, spiritual being. If all our attention goes to our physical being, we get into imbalance. Alright? The first thing that will happen, joggers, will be heart attack. First thing. And in old age, they'll be absolutely finished. Old age, they won't be able to face. We should use our energy with respect. Never go to extremes for anything. Going to extreme is not good. Cycling, you should do a little bit. Also running, you should do a little bit. Everything in moderation. Everything should be in moderation. Extreme thing is not good. And even I've seen people who run too much, they don't have any emotional thing. There was one fellow, a dentist, who came to see me, says, I have no feelings, I have become a sthitaprajna. I said, how? He said, even when my child died, I never felt anything. My wife is sick, I never felt anything. Nothing happens to me. I'm just become a big sannyasi. I said, you have become nothing but a hard-boiled egg. There is no love in your heart. It's so dry, like a dried fish, you see. You need something in the heart also. Then said, Mother, I really want to do that. Then I told him, stop your jogging and try to remain more on the left-hand side. Go and see some nice pictures with your wife, take her round, see Charlie Chaplin or something and enjoy yourself. And that's how now he's much better. He's not so bad.
Come on.
One more? Is there one more, she asked. So I will.
Alright, one more. That.
Yes.
Oh, I often wonder what the difference is when there's a sudden silence, like you go into a void, absolutely stillness. Does that mean that all of your chakras are in balance then? That sweet is like nothingness.
She says, what happens when you go into sudden silence, which is very sweet? Does it mean that all your chakras are in balance?
Of course, it means silence should be there, and when you feel the silence means your Kundalini has gone above your Agya chakra. But there could be another way of getting silence, which is a very dangerous thing. But when you get possessed, also you can't think. So there is a very small line one should understand that. But if you say you feel very sweet and happy and thoughtless, then that's very good. That shows that
It doesn't stay very long.
that will after with Kundalini. See, the thought rises and falls off. Another thought rises and falls off. In between the thought there's some space. See? Now this space sometimes you reach. If the thoughts are tired, they get elongated and that thing is there. Now this is the present. The central part is the present. And when you rise, the Kundalini rises, she makes this expand. And you are in complete silence. Like me, I am always in silence. You got this.
In our appreciation, our way to express our appreciation tonight for Mother's programs is to chant Om continuously. And something that's enjoyable also. And remember too that any note that you pick, whether it's your note, is the perfect note. So don't be embarrassed or nervous or whatever. Just pick a note and let's continuously chant Om. For about 3 to 5 minutes or for whatever.
one Om then if you want to speak. But I would say while saying this, if you put your right hand on your heart, because it's a pranasham. Om is right side, pranasham. You have to bring in the play of the heart, because you are saying it with your pranasham, singing something, but with your pranasham. With that, put your hand on your heart, that you are singing from your heart. It must be sung with the heart. It's just saying music or anything. If you say it from your heart, then it is Sahaja. So it should be said from the heart. The bhakti, the devotion, the dedication is to be expressed through the heart. And without that, it's all dry, absolutely dry. Tomorrow I'll speak to you about Om. Have you got it? Meditation.
Shri Mataji will now give vibrations and will tell you how to receive them. As you sit, all of you please extend your hand. Slip off your shoes so that you are in touch with the Mother Earth.
Put them back. Put them back. Shoes. At the back, on the side.
Put the shoes behind you.
Behind you. Samne mein rakhna. Now, let us see how we correct our different centers, how we nourish them ourselves. Nobody needs nourish it. We can nourish ourselves. So you put your left hand straight like this. Now this is the power of desire. You know that. So this is how you desire. So you put the left hand towards me like this, on your lap, very comfortably. You should sit very comfortably. There's no need to make any gestures or anything. Just be comfortable and cheerful. Now with the right hand we do the action to raise the kundalini with the right hand. Now I'll tell you how to do it. First of all, the first thing I have to tell you all that we are in the present and we should not feel guilty about anything. So the first thing you have to tell yourself very clearly that I am not guilty. Even you can tell me in your heart, Mother, I am not guilty. Just declare it, first of all. Absolutely declare that I am not guilty. You are saints. How can saints be guilty? Just give up that habit of getting into the sulking that you are guilty. Just give up. You are saints. Remember, say, I am not guilty. Just say, Mother, I am not guilty in your heart. With full confidence, you have to say, I am not guilty. Now, you have to put the right hand on your heart. That's very important because in the heart resides the spirit. If your heart is not being nourished, then the Sahasrara, this Brahmarandra won't open out, because this is the center, which is the seat of the heart. This is the seat of the heart. So you must keep your left hand towards me and right hand on your heart with respect and love for yourself and for your mother. Just have respect and love. You have to love yourself. You have to respect. You are saints. Now, after this, you close your eyes slowly and gradually, as I say, these are mantras which you have to say. Now, first of all, you put your heart into the whole thing, and in your heart, you ask a question, Mother, am I the spirit? Ask the question thrice with full confidence. Because you are a computer now. and the answer comes to you. Just ask the question, Mother, am I the spirit? Put me in your heart, please, if you can. Just say, Mother, reside in my heart. Let's see. That will nourish your heart. Now, you must know that the Spirit is your guide, that you are your own Guru, you are your own Master. For this, you have to put this right hand just on the left hand side of your stomach to nourish your Guru principle, left hand side. At this point, you have to say with full confidence, Mother, I am my own Master. Mother, I am my own Guru. Mother, I am my own guide. Say it 10 times with full confidence. See, the vibrations will improve. Now don't think of any other gurus. Forget them. You are your own Guru. You don't need a Guru. You are a saint. The Spirit is going to guide you. Your vibratory awareness is going to guide you. After that, saying for 10 times, raise your right hand and again back to your heart. Now here, again with love, with full confidence, without feeling guilty, you have to say, Mother, I am the Spirit. Please say it 12 times. Just stop. हो जाएगा. I am the Spirit. Mother, I am the Spirit. Feel confidence you should have. Now you are nourishing your heart. Now put this right hand onto the base of the neck on the left hand side. Please don't open your eyes till I tell you. At the base of the neck on the left hand side, this is the Vishuddhi chakra on the left hand side. Here you have to say 16 times, Mother, I am not guilty. And if you have that habit, say it 32 times. Or even to punish you more, you can say 108 times. It's horrible just now, I must say. It's the worst center just now, is to feel guilty. Did I say anything to make you feel guilty? Forget it. Forget. Don't feel guilty. Good. Now put your right hand across your forehead. At this point you have to say, Mother, I forgive everyone. This is the greatest weapon Christ has given us. Some people might say it's very difficult. It's the easiest thing to say. In any case, it is a myth. When you say you do not forgive others, what do? You are harming yourself, nobody else. So just say, Mother, I forgive everyone from your heart, very lovingly. Now put the hand at the back of your head, at the agya, at the back. Hold it tight. Now without feeling guilty, you have to say, if you have done any mistake, O Lord, please forgive us. But without feeling guilty, you have to say that. Push back your head and try to hold it fast and just say that. Now put this hand on top of your head, on the fontanelle bone area, and press it hard with your hand and move it. Clockwise, press it hard. At this point, you have to ask for your moksha. You have to ask for it. I cannot cross your realization. So just you say, Mother, please give us realization, or you can say, Mother, please establish my realization. You have to ask. I cannot force you. I cannot force things onto you. I have to respect your freedom. Just go on pressing it like that and say it 7 times. Now, raise your left hand on top of your head and put your right hand towards me. Right hand towards me. Raise it higher, about 6 inches high. Like this. Yeah. Now see, is there cool breeze coming out of your head? Raise your hands high. Better. Just see if there's a cool breeze. Feel it. Move your hands. If you want, you can see it now with the right hand, but move this. Best way to achieve it would be to raise your own kundalini, which I'll tell you how to do it. उनको बताएं? बता दिया?
आप फिर बता दीजिए.
अच्छा, I'll tell you how. गर्मी बहुत. See, heart is catchy. That's it. Heart. All right. Raise your kundalini. Put your left hand in front of your kundalini. Right. Left hand. Now the right hand. We move it like that. Let's do it. Raise it, watching the hand. Alright, take it out. Now make your limbs rather loose. Push back your head. Take this. Give it a twist. One. Then bring it down. Again. Watch your hand. You can feel it that your kundalini is rising. Now push back your head. Loosen it. Give it a big twist. Two. Now the third one. Let's try. If you don't do it, it won't work out. Your hands have to be loosened. Otherwise it doesn't work out. You don't feel any vibration. Just push it up. Now, 3 knots. 1, 2, and 3. Knots. Let's have it away. Better. 3 push. Now, you put your hands up like that. And ask a question in your heart. In your heart, humble down, and say, is this the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost? Is this the cool breeze of the all-pervading living power of God? Feel it? You feel it? It's first time one feels the all-pervading power, which is subtle, which does all the living work. Now, put back your hand. Also, you must know how to give yourself a protection before you leave. Put the left hand towards me, and the right hand has to be used for giving protection. Let's start it. 1, 2, on your head. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now, nothing can enter into your aura. Your spirit is in our vibration. पूजा में कितने लोग आ रहे हैं?
6 और
क्यों सबको बुला?
8 से जो भी
सबको बुला, सबका जितने भी पा रहे हैं. How many have felt the cool breeze? Raise your hands high. Oh, great. Should we क्या करें?
इनको वैसे बोल देंगे.
हाँ?
बोल देंगे.
There's another thing that we do, but it is only done for people who belong to the inner circle of Sahaja. It's a secret. And these are given to people who do not belong. Because, you see, truth also is not easy to bear. Christ said, I am the light and the path, which he was, no doubt. But they crucified. So I've seen in Sahaja Yoga when we start telling them about the truth, they sometimes revolt and we lose them and they are lost. So the thing would be that I'll leave it to Yogi Mahajan to find out who can be taken up for that, who cannot be lost by that. Because you see, immediately the ego, Mr. Ego comes in. Right? So we'll see about it, and then if you are coming to Santa Cruz, also we'll work it out there. But you cannot go on like this. You have to face it, because it's such a deep experience you get out. It's very for Indians to understand what it is. But for Western minds, it's rather difficult to start thinking about it. And we don't want that you should again do right about turn that you did in 1973. So to progress, you have to do something more about it. But that you do not expose. Very carefully. Not in India. In India it's not. Here. So, because even now I know people who are still nowhere near me. They are still thinking, egoistical. They did not do any of these things. They didn't want to feel the full breeze or all sorts of things. See? So there are people like that. So I will leave him to choose, and whatever is proper, he should do it accordingly. But it's a thing which, if you can somehow or other manage to be there, it's a thing of very great depth, and we will go into it. And when I'm there, I think one should do it.
I've been put in a very difficult predicament and I don't want to sound discriminating. What we could do is that people who've been attending any of our earlier meetings can join us for a puja ceremony which we would be doing tomorrow.
You have to do puja to your guru, to your mother.
Yes.
And it's a custom in India, it is to be done. But actually I have nothing to gain. To be very frank, I shudder. I told him I'll not have puja here in San Francisco, because you see the vibration starts flowing so much, so tremendously, and if the people are not able to receive it, I have to bear it up in my body for some time, and I feel so restless about it that I want to sleep off. I can't just talk after that. So it is, I have nothing to gain out of it, I must tell you that. But you have to gain something out of that happening, by which you get your vibrations working. But of course those who have not felt the breeze should not come, to be honest to themselves, should not at all. But whatever he says, I mean, I leave it to him.
Our telephone number
He understands Americans better than me. Of course.
Our telephone number is in the